What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. Everyone's favorite retro-themed game store to crap on the internet, DKOldies, has been hacked via an SQL injection hack that happened in 2024, but that's besides the point. That shouldn't be happening on websites these days. It's a vulnerable security that should have been patched 20 years ago. But let's focus on what actually transpired here and why it's funny and why it's actually a really bad thing. Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out smashjt.com for the full article breaking down this DKOldies hack. So as of about 24 hours ago, on March 28th, there was an SQL injection hack on the DKOldies website. Whenever you would try to go and buy any of the retro games or retro consoles, it would load it up, show it, and then this screen would appear. Almost as a warning to customers that don't know any better about DKOldies. F DKOldies and their scam. DKOldies.com, inventory, DKOldies.com. Please do not buy anything from this scam site. Repeated 4 times. This is a dump from their database, from their inventory. P.S. They have shitty OPSEC on their Linode servers. And then it goes through breaking down a PSP game, Phantasy Star port, and shows how they pay. The average cost for buying that game is $7.12, and their sale price for it is $43.99. And whoever did this hack was sharing their frustrations with how DKOldies upcharges on these retro games, which is a can of worms in its own right, because as a store, as your main product in business, you're in business to make money. And if you're selling retro games, you want to make as much money as possible. I don't know where this mentality comes from in the retro game market, where if someone is trying to sell a game for more than what they feel like it's worth, they get upset at the person. Just don't buy the game. Find it somewhere else if you want it that bad. It's a whole supply and demand system. It's something I've spoken about many times in the past that I never really understood that mantra. People getting upset at resellers and angry at YouTubers who are bragging about how they were able to flip a bunch of games for more money than what they paid for them. And I've always been in the camp of, go you! Like, that's a good thing if you can make money off this hobby to support your addiction to buying games or playing the games or whatever. More power to you. And I look at DKOldies and I'm like, well, it's a family-owned business, supposedly, and they employ quite a few people, and it's not cheap for labor these days. So you do need to raise the prices on games that's just selling. And not to mention, DKOldies advertises everywhere, up to and including my website, where I've seen DKOldies on their banner ads on the sides of my stories. Don't worry, I'm not the one actually hiring DKOldies to advertise. It's a Google thing that they automatically pay for and get put on game websites. It's something that's completely out of my control, but it shows me just how much they put into advertising to get their name out there. And I've always been of the opinion of, if you don't want to spend that kind of money on a retro game, go find it somewhere else. Go to eBay, go to Craigslist, go to OfferUp, go to Facebook, go literally anywhere. Best place I've found is a trade show. You can get basically any game under the sun and find a price that fits your needs at that location, instead of getting all angry at DKOldies. Now, I will say, in defense of people that don't like DKOldies, and I've taken this stance many times against them as well, is if you're lying about the product that you're selling to someone, being deceptive about your practices, something I've spoken out a while ago about how they're actually getting potentially taken to court from Treehouse Law, investigating a class action lawsuit against deceptive selling practices, that's where I take issue. If they're saying they're selling you something that is cleaned, working condition, and basically perfect, and you get something that has like rat poop in it and it's got dirty corners and it barely functions, that is a lie, and I take a serious stance against that. This all came to my attention from Quest64 Official on Twitter, stating, so DKOldies was cyber attacked in the last 24 hours. As you shop their website, you're redirected to this fairly docile text wall dragging them for their pricing policies. Went to check their Facebook page to see if they had a post about it. I was blocked. What a compliment. As of now, it looks like it's been resolved. I haven't been able to replicate it as of prior to recording this video, but that doesn't mean that they've patched all the holes and that this isn't going to be a problem moving forward. I would have some legitimate concerns, actually, about my personal information if I'd ever bought anything from DKOldies, which I have not. I've seen a lot of stories about it, but it is interesting that they didn't mention anything about this hack anywhere. I went to their Twitter, I went to their Facebook, I went to all their social medias, I went to their YouTube. I saw them post nothing about this hack. And that doesn't really sit well with me. Because if I were to have purchased something from DKOldies and the site got hacked, I'd at least like to know from the source that, hey, we got hacked, here's the situation, your credit cards are safe, we use a third party or XYZ or whatever the reason is. Tell the customers what happened, let them know that they should be okay, but if they don't feel comfortable, to cancel their credit cards or block whatever transactions could come from them in the future, and that way it would put them at ease. And this seems like they're trying to brush it under the rug, like, oh, we patched it up in less than a day, and hopefully no one finds out about this. And right there is deception. Now here's where I kind of take an issue with the hack. Yeah, it's funny, and we can all point and laugh at DKOldies because they get what they deserve, ha ha ha. But taking a step back from this, it does go a little too far. It exposes the email addresses to all the people that work there, and some of these people are just trying to do a job, make their money, and go home. They enjoy video games. It's not too different than working at GameStop, except it's an online store. GameStop has been accused of deceptive practices and screwing people over for how much they pay for a game compared to how much they sell it for. It's not that different. But at the end of the day, these are still employees at a company, and don't make it personal with these people. That's where I take issue with this. I might not be the biggest fan of DKOldies in general and their deceptive practices and all the things I've seen they've done to people and YouTubers that have exposed their crappy and dirty canisters of a console that they've sold as like new. That's a problem, yes. But exposing the personal email addresses of the employees, it just seems to take it a little too far. It's almost like it gives more credence to the whole angry gamer crybaby where you just don't get your way, so you just do this, kick and scream and cry about a company and expose all this stuff about them. And I'm not about that either. As much as DKOldies sucks, I'm not about to be like, oh, here's all the personal information of everyone, go attack them. Like, that's what this hacker did, and that is not cool. And for all the people that are like, yeah, but the markup is more than 10% or 20%, you try running a business selling used games and tell me how long you make it before you have to close shop because you weren't upcharging enough. And ultimately, I think that's what this all comes down to with DKOldies. I don't give a damn what they charge for the games. It's a consumer-driven market and a free market, supply and demand. If you want something and it's there, go ahead and buy it from whatever makes you happy. The biggest issue I have with DKOldies is the deceptive practices of lying about what they were selling, or at least the accusations of doing such, and Treehouse Law going after them with a class action lawsuit because of that. The more research I've done on DKOldies, the more it seems like they're a fine company as far as customer service is concerned. If you feel like you did not get what you ordered, they will make it right, and you don't really have anything to complain about anymore. And it almost feels like the YouTube videos hating on DKOldies have been a self-fulfilling prophecy of just hating on a company to hate on them. It's an easy punchable face of a company, so just keep punching them while they're down instead of taking a step back, looking at the situation and being like, yeah, they suck. They upcharge way too much. I'm not going to shop there, and I'm going to speak with my wallet and take my money elsewhere where I can get what I want for the price that I want to pay for it. And I guess ultimately, that's what it comes down to. Putting DKOldies in the name of the title of a video automatically gets you a ton of views. And I think being angry about it and hating on them is so easy to do. And I think that's where the slippery slope comes in for a lot of YouTubers. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of their deceptive practices with what they sell, but if they make it right in customer service, companies do make mistakes. But DKOldies seems to make more than most, or get away with more than most. And again, that's where I take issue with them. But exposing personal information and stuff like this, no. This ain't it. And talking about how much they upcharge, who the hell cares? It's such a whiny attack on a company, ultimately, and I'm not cool with it. And I'm sure there's going to be people that disagree with me, but that's kind of how I feel about this DKOldies hack. Have your fun, laugh at the company all you want, but don't do stuff like this. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. If you guys want more information, check out smashjt.com for the full article, links, references, and resources for all the information that I referenced in this video. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing.
It takes a lot of work to get it cleaned up and running great again. Here's how we do it at DKOldies. The console gets opened up and disassembled, down to its individual parts, including the fans, heat sinks, disk drive, and motherboard.
And reveal the inside. And here we go. Oh yeah. This thing is filthy. Oh man. Wow. Yeah, this thing either has never been opened up or has not been opened up in years. That is disgusting.